Hello there, welcome to Learner's Paradise channel. In this video we'll look at the basic terms that are used in WPF. If you look around WPF content on the internet or the videos or blogs or on the web, you see people using a lot of terms like properties, attributes, events, elements, etc. So it's really confusing actually, but they're actually quite simple. So let us decode these basic terms and understand them. So let us compare WPF with OOPS and then see what they are called in OOPS and how does it map into WPF and .NET. To begin with, in object-oriented languages, that means OOPS, we have something called as a class. So this class maps to object in .NET, and in XAML, also known as XAML, it's called as object element, and in XML, it is just called as an element. And in OOPS we have a class member or a class variable which maps to property in .NET or a property attribute in XAML, and then it's just called an attribute in XML. And then OOPS we have class method or class functions which is called as event handler in .NET, event attribute in XAML, and then just an attribute in XML. So let us take an example and then understand each of these things. Suppose we have some code in XAML which has, this is a typical code which has a window element, and then there is something like this. You will see in the examples xmnls is equal to http colon something and xmnls colon x is equal to http something. So what is this? So this is the XAML namespace. I am talking about the second part, the xmnls colon x is equal to http://schemas.microsoft.com/winfx/2006/XAML. This is the XAML namespace. So this namespace has everything that is related to XAML. And then the one above is called as WPF namespace. Just notice the difference between those two. The only difference is the first one has /presentation appended to it. That is the WPF namespace. And now suppose we have a very simple code to create a button, and then the button name of the button is OK, and then when we click on the button it calls a function called button_click. So now what are each of these things we'll examine. This entire thing is called element in XML, but in XAML it is called as object element. And now getting into each of them, content is equal to OK is property attribute, and click is equal to the function name button click, the function that has to be called upon click. This entire thing is called as an event attribute, right? So now let us see how this thing can be entirely written in C#, or sometimes what is referred to as code behind. First, what we had in XAML, the namespaces, similar to that we have something here called using system.windows or using system.windows.controls, etc. And this is called as .NET namespace or directives. What we called as WPF namespace or XAML namespace in XAML, here it is called as .NET namespace or directives. And then there was a button there, right? So how do we create a button here? Button B is equal to new button. And then this button is called as a type or a class. So when we say button B is equal to new button, a new button object is instantiated. So this is called as a type or a class. And then there we had content is equal to OK. Similarly in C# we write it as b.content is equal to OK. So here it is called as property, and this is a property being assigned with the value OK. What was it called there? It was called as property attribute. And then to call a function upon click, here in C# we write it as b.click is equal to new routed event handler button_click. This is called as an event handler, and there it was called as event attribute. So yes, so these are the most common things that you will come across while learning WPF over the internet. I'm sure if you remember these things, you can save a lot of chaos in your head going forward. Thank you. I hope you like the simple concepts. Please subscribe to our channel. There will be more such simple videos coming up. Thank you.